This is The Fix, where we don't dig into just politics, but also the cool stuff happening here in South Africa. Chef Lentswe made top money as an investment banker. Now he's a top chef. Thank you so very much, Chef Bengu, for, of course, joining us here. Now, you might have left the world of top finance, but I see you rolling with the high rollers. You're cooking for the president. You've been to Davos. You've done it.
Yes, what an absolutely great experience. You know, one of the things I always say is if you're going to do something, do it properly. So you're not going to leave the world of finance to go become a chef and tell your father and your mother that if you're not going to make it big. You know, and that's what following your passion and just sticking to your guns really is all about.
So for you, it's something that you needed to do. You must you know, at some point have thought, is this going to work? Isn't it going to work? When I was reading up on you, I got this beautiful little story where you got this blank little book with no recipes in it, and your mom said, write down what you like to make for the family.
Correct. Yeah, that's literally my first ever recipe book I ever got. My mom got me one. It was totally empty, and she said, fill it with all the recipes that you're either going to create or you're going to look on the internet and create yourself. And I still have it till today, and the first recipe that's on there is a savory tart. And I kid you not, I can make the most amazing fine dining food, but they want that tart with the Viennas and the leftover this and that, because that's what I was learning from the beginning when I started cooking. And yeah, it's all about passion, I suppose, really.
Absolutely. Now, of course, Peter Bruce here is known for the fact that he is a rabble-rouser, he's a columnist, you know, he's the guy that got into the face of the Guptas. Yep. But he's also a foodie, Chef Bengu.
Oh, really?
And let me into a little secret. Let me let you into a little secret. This man just bought a restaurant. What tips do you have for him?
Oof, what tips do I have? Firstly, why did you buy a restaurant?
Yeah, I don't know. when I told my friend Jacques Poe, who also owns a restaurant, I don't know what it is between journalists and restaurants, he said, are you out of your bleep mind? Yeah. It's ruined my life. And I said, but it's small, it can only take 20 people. He said, have you ever tried to cook for 20 people? And I haven't, actually. Yeah.
But are you going to be one that's cooking?
You know how to do it.
I do know how to do it. People ask me all the time, like today my sister asked me, when are you opening your own restaurant? And I think some tips for you, Peter, would be, for myself, I'm not doing it right now because I still have so much to learn. When you open a restaurant, you need, like any business, you need to be there 100% fully into it. And right now I'm traveling the world, I'm cooking privately for people, I'm still learning that kind of acumen as what I did within business for when I do have a restaurant, I have the business acumen, I have the passion for it, and also I've done and dusted all the traveling and cooking live TV. Now I can just focus on this.
Now, okay, the two of you are going to, you know, be cooking food, and you're going to own your own restaurants. I like eating. Okay, I've got a complicated relationship with eating.
Perfect.
What I want to ask the both of you, and let me start with you, Peter. You're learning how to cook. How did you decide where to go?
Yeah.
And Chef Bengu, the same for you, because I've seen you also kind of, you know, going back and of course going to learn those very basic techniques.
I'm doing what Chef Lentswe, and I'm happy to use the honorific because it's really hard what you do. Yeah. And I've gone to a few cooking schools now, classes at in Pretoria at the Pruley School. Oh wow, yes. I spent a week at Ballymaloe, which is quite stunning. I don't know if you know it.
Fantastic, yes.
And my brain can't take it all. You can't take it all in. You know, it's too. You've been cooking. You say, I think the story is about. You say since you were 8 or helping your mum out. I'm an old white man. I mean, we don't go. And I've discovered this thing about cooking is it focuses you in a way that nothing I've ever come across does. Because if you don't focus, you make
a mistake, and you make the most silliest mistakes, like cooking chicken till it's dry. Like that's the most fatal mistake ever. But it's because why? I put it on the stove, I went and I watched TV, or I did something else, and I wasn't paying attention. And you're very correct, Peter. You know, when you're cooking, like in any job, you need to be focused into it. Like I said earlier on, put your head down and just do it.
Nothing like this, you know.
And nothing like a half measured effort.
If you've got a recipe, you've got to get everything together because you can't go around looking for something because you've forgotten it.
Well, that's the training we get as chefs. So is when I'm going to start making, so I'm going to make your mise en place. So I'm making a cabbage pie or whatever. That sounds terrible. A pork belly pie. There we go. A pork belly pie. So I get all my mise en place ready first. All my dishes, all the spoons I'm going to use in the order I'm going to use them in. What I'm going to add in first, then later on.
Very chefy talk.
Very
mise en place.
Yes.
What does that mean to order
all your preparation.
All your stuff in one place.
Okay, cool.
Because now all I want to do is
get organized.
Get organized. All I want to do now is I want to just stand here with my glass of wine and my beautiful French music, whatever music I'm playing, and just dazzle away. By the time you start cooking, that's actually the symphony playing. You know, before they've practiced, they've done their ups and downs and whatever they do. By the time they go, and 1, 2, 3. Ba, 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 ba. That's me cooking and chopping. So all your mise en place needs to be there in front of you.
Look at the two of you.
No, but it is extraordinary because you've done the classical stuff, right? So you went to school. You went to Stellenbosch, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
What was it called?
At the Culinary Academy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did all that stuff. You could debone and stuff a quail.
Of course.
How quickly?
I haven't timed myself, but
you must have done it 1,000 times.
A few times, yes, a few times.
And the first one, how did it go?
Actually, I cut myself my finger over here. You can see it. You can't see it now. And our knives are so sharp that after I cut myself, I didn't actually realize. And I was so busy working, and the adrenaline was rushing. And I was like, Chef, I cut my hand. And he was like, well, you're not going to do that again.
Now, Chef Lentswe, you have done so much, and you're still saying you're not ready for your own place. But there's a lot of youngsters out there that have, you know, an interest in food. Food is becoming a big lifestyle thing. We're talking about food trucks, all kinds of stuff. What is your advice to aspiring young chefs and people who perhaps don't think of themselves as chefs, but who know they love food, who know they love preparing food? What is the tips that you can give them?
Get as much knowledge as possible from working in the industry. There's nothing that beats having the experience. In Zulu, we say ispilione. You know, you got to have the groundwork experience. That's why for me, I got to learn all the cuisines out there before I can sit down and say, hey guys, please pay X amount for my dish. You know, I got to get all that done first. Yes, I've done the skill at Karima College. I've worked a little bit, not too long, at restaurants. Now I'm doing it a different way. I'm going to different restaurants through my TV show where I'm still learning. By the time maybe in 4, 5, maybe in 10 years' time, then I'll have enough business acumen, passion, and also the networks as well. Because, I mean, Peter, it's very all well to say I'm opening a restaurant, but then are you going to be the one cooking?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Do you know what I mean? Because what mostly happens, especially with artists or with artistic kind of fields like chefing or music, is we're very passionate about what we do, but then when it comes to do you sell your own rights to your music? And they go, oh, I don't know what that is, because now that's a business side of it.
Absolutely, and of course you've got that knowledge of applying that business side. Chef Lentswe, thank you so very much for coming to our very first show, The Fix. We wish you every success, and that of course thanks to all of you who joined us for the very first edition of The Fix. We'll see you again next Sunday night.